Good evening. How you doing, folks? Ben Johnson, otherwise known as the Black Chef. Thank you for tuning in to Dine and Dash. Today we're going to have a fun, easy meal that you can make at home. We're doing some roasted trout, a Greek pasta salad, and roasted broccoli. Healthy, easy, and fun. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Dine and Dash. As I said, we get ready to do some roasted trout, Greek pasta salad, and roasted broccoli. Get ready to do a little bit of the prep work. You can save some time just by being organized. It's called mise en place for the fancy folk. But other than that, I've already trimmed the onion down a little bit, took the skin off. Now I'm gonna dice it up. And there are so many different ways to cut onions. Do it the way you feel comfortable. A lot of people think the most dangerous thing in the kitchen is a knife. Actually, the most dangerous thing in the kitchen is a dull knife. Sharp knife, let you take care of your business, do what you need to do. And actually what you're gonna see me do, easy cut, then put them in the bowl. That's a rough dice. One of the fun things about doing family style cooking is you don't have to worry about being so fancy and so perfect. It's for the family, you're just having a good time doing what you do. So there's the onion. This one, I'm actually going to leave in these half moons because I'm gonna do something a little bit different with these. This is going with the broccoli. That's going in the salad. Again, make it work easy. These peppers have already been washed. Now I'm just trimming the ends off. Then we will cut these up as well. And what I did not do, but which will be helpful, is get you a little what we'll call a garbage bowl. Again, make it work easier. If you're home working by your sink, you can throw it in the sink. Get a little plastic bag, put your scraps in. Again, cooking is fun and easy when you're organized. The other thing you'll notice is that we're going to be eating a lot of colors. Different colors in your fruits and your vegetables provide different nutrients, different vitamins. So when you're literally eating your colors, that's another way to know that you're eating healthy, going to have a good meal, and get some balance in terms of your vitamins. Again, those are cut in rings. These are going to be cut into a little bit of a smaller dice. Like I said earlier, sharp knife makes your work easy. So we're working on these small tomatoes. You can get plum tomatoes, pear tomatoes, grape tomatoes. People are most familiar with cherry tomatoes. Cut them how you want. You want to be cute, cut them at an angle. Again, it's family style, it's easy. You know, do more than one if you're comfortable. But at the end of the day, put what you like. That's one of the beauties of making this salad too. On this Greek pasta salad, put what vegetables you like. You don't like them, don't use them. You like them more, use more. Use a wide variety of vegetables like I'm getting ready to do. Like I said, cook your colors. Carrots, I don't peel mine. I take a stiff bristle brush, clean them up under some running water. There's a lot of nutrients in the skin of certain vegetables, and carrots are one of them. So that's what I do. Stiff bristle brush, warm water, even cool water, keep it running, brush them, turn them, make sure you get the whole thing, trim the ends off, you're good to go. And then lastly, what we're going to do for the Greek pasta salad. Broccoli, same thing. Already have some done. You can trim them to the size that you like. A lot of times, make sure if you buy them already cut, check the ends and the bottoms. Sometimes they can look a little dry. Just trim it off. Keep it moving. You want a full-size floret? That's fine. You want to break them down? That's fine. Again, the beauty of home cooking, it is entirely up to you. And like I said, got a garbage bowl, makes cleanup easy. You want to break them down, you can just cut them in half. Then they're bite size, and also they're smaller. They're roast quicker for the ones that we're gonna roast. These are gonna be ones we put in the Greek pasta salad. So make it easy for your guests. Make it bite size, so when they're eating everything, they can just keep it enjoying. Get the broccoli, get a piece of tomato, and enjoy the whole meal that you've worked so hard to prepare. So now we have all of that done. We'll get ready to put the pasta in salted water. Always salt your water. When you're making your pasta, you use less salt, because what ends up happening is the pasta will absorb some of the salt out of the water. Very standard trick of Italians, and you know Italian folk know a little bit about pasta, so that's what we are going to do. So now we're going to cook the pasta for the Greek pasta salad. Pasta is easy, fun thing. They come in a lot of different fun shapes. We're just using a spiral pasta today. Very important. Always salt your water. You use less salt, and that's traditionally how anyone who cooks pasta, particularly Italians, would tell you to do it. So they know pasta, so I'm gonna do what they say do. Water's already at a boil. It's already been salted. Drop the pasta in. Leave it alone. Get it back to a good boil. Let it do what it do. So we're checking our pasta. You see that stain? You definitely want it to boil. Pasta cooks a little differently, so check your package and make sure you cook it right. This pasta probably has about another 6 minutes. Also, make sure you do not overcook your pasta. It actually should have a little bite to it. That's what's called al dente. When you bite it, it shouldn't just fall apart in your mouth. It ought to have just a touch of give, and then you can enjoy the actual texture and the artistry that went into the pasta. Next, we're getting ready to do the piece de resistance. And I know if I ask you what this is, everybody's gonna say salmon. We know salmon, we love salmon. And you'd be wrong. This is steelhead trout. Looks very similar, actually tastes similar, but it is a totally different fish and one that I like to cook. We do love salmon too, but I cook at just because it is a little bit different. See the pretty color, a little bit of fat in there. Fat is flavor, fat's not bad. So what we have here is a Turkish fish spice that some friends gave me after they visited Turkey. And of course I had to spice it up a little bit with a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of onion powder. And don't be scared to season your food. Don't be scared to season your fish. This is kind of a rich piece of fish, so you want to do that. Also, you'll notice I'm not touching the fish. You have to be very careful with your cleanliness. So that's why I had the seasoning in the bowl. I have the fish in one pan while I'm seasoning it. I'll be roasting it in a different pan. And that looks pretty good. After you cook for a while, you can season by sight. You're working off a recipe. I would say go ahead and follow the recipe the first time, see what they're doing. But then after that, go ahead and do your own thing. We're gonna roast it in a lower sided pan. That helps the heat spread. And the other thing that I'm going to do is put a little pan spray on here. And that'll help prevent the fish from sticking on the bottom. It'll also make your cleanup just a little bit easier. So here we go. We're just gonna lay these skin side down to make sure they both fit. You can call the fat in the head, the skinnier in the tail, and just put those opposite. See how beautifully they fit on the pan. See how good they look. And actually, we're going to put them in the same oven after I wash my hands with the roasted broccoli at the same time. Again, got some florets. Leave these a little larger because you're gonna roast them in the oven. They'll get nice and crisp. I like to use olive oil. This happens to be an extra virgin. You don't need a lot. It'll just help with the temp. Toss that around a little bit. You don't want to drown it. You just kind of want it to get covered. So there we go. A couple different ways to do it. You can season it in the bowl, toss it around, or you can put them on the sheets and season it. So I'm gonna do it both ways. Got a seasoning blend here, some onion salt, a little garlic powder, a little bit of pepper. Toss that in there. Stir it around a little bit. Fun thing about broccoli, all those little nooks and crannies in the florets will help hold on to that seasoning. And again, I'm gonna do it twice. Make sure stuff gets more evenly distributed. That's done. And toss it again. Now what we're going to do is bring it over to a roasting pan. Spread it out. And then to get a little color in there, what I'm going to do is just drop a few carrots on there. Remember I was talking earlier, eat your colors. And the other fun part is, eat what you like. I could throw some tomatoes on there if I wanted. Throw some of these onions on there, and these are the ones that I left larger. That's why I left these larger. Again, they're gonna roast. Onions actually get to be pretty sweet. If you've heard of caramelized onions, they have quite a bit of sugar in them. You just let them cook down. Now, these aren't gonna cook down that long to get caramelized, but when they're done, you will see some color on them. And like I said, they'll have a nice flavor. And then last but not least, to add a little nuttiness, got some sesame seeds. Sprinkle those across so they'll get a little toasty smelling, a little toasty tasting. And there you go. Plus some of it just looks pretty. You always eat with your eyes first anyway. Ready to put these in a hot oven and get these roasted. Typically everything is at 350. It doesn't have to be. I'm using a convection oven. I'm gonna roast them at I start them at a slightly higher temperature, about 375, 400. All right, let's see what this broccoli is looking like. And that's what you want. I'm sure a lot of you haven't had it this way, but actually those crispy bits will be sweet. They'll be a little bit crunchy. That's exactly what I was looking for. Next thing we're gonna do now, that was about 12 to 15 minutes. Now we're gonna put the fish in that we seasoned earlier. Same oven, 400 degrees. And I'm actually gonna turn that down because you don't want it to cook too high or too fast. So I'm gonna turn that down to about 350. Let it go for about 10 to 12 minutes. Check it, see what it looks like. But that's gonna be pretty as well. Alrighty, so now we're back. You're ready to do the Greek pasta salad. Like I said, the fun part about this is two things in particular. One, eat your colors. That's how you automatically know you're getting your vitamins and a variety of nutrients. The second piece is what you like, you put in. What you don't, you don't. Whatever you want, you put more. So what I'm going to start with is, again, one of my favorites, extra virgin olive oil. And I'm actually putting that in first, so when I toss it around and start putting other things, they'll automatically stick. Remember I said earlier, do not overcook your pasta. One of the worst things you can do. You're probably used to it. Trust me. Cook it a couple minutes less, try it out, see what you think. Remember, you can always cook something more. You can never cook it less. So here we go. So you see the pasta starting to shine a little bit. I think I am going to start with the peppers that we diced up. And again, here's the other piece. Putting some in, toss it around. If I decide I want some more, I have those. And you can see this is already looking good already. You see the colors. Diced onion. These are raw, so you don't want the pieces too big. Some people like raw onions, some don't. If you don't like them totally raw, you could actually have dropped them in that pasta water for a second to let them warm up. They'll soften up that way. Again, if you don't like onions or don't like raw onions, just don't use them. So there we go. The broccoli florets that we talked about, throw a few of those in. Then again, so now you see we got red, we have yellow, we have green. Just catching all those flavors, all those colors. Next, we're gonna have the carrots. The carrots sort of transformed since we went away. And what you wanna do, since these are raw, you don't want big pieces of carrots since your other stuff is pretty small. So as you can see, I put them in a food processor, broke them down a little more. Now they'll be a little easier to eat, a little more palatable. Stir those through. We're just about done. Smell that fish waiting on us. I think that is, by the time we get this finished, that fish will be done. This is some seasoning. Wrong seasoning. That's the fish seasoning. Here's the pasta seasoning. And I could tell, again, when you start cooking, the fish seasoning had bigger pieces in different color because of some of the flavors that was in there. This is pretty much oregano, pepper, a little bit of onion salt. And I'm actually gonna put all of that in there. But very little onion salt, because remember, we salted the pasta water. And then the other piece, we're gonna use feta cheese. And feta cheese has a decent amount of salt as well. You saw me earlier taste the tomatoes. I just wanted to check the sweetness. I'm gonna taste the feta. This one isn't too salty. The feta is a traditional Greek cheese. It never hurts you to taste your ingredients as you go along to have an idea what you're working with. The other good thing about this, the broccoli is sweet, the carrots are sweet, so you don't have to worry about a whole lot of what the salt is going to do. Last thing, a little cracked fresh pepper. Get that in there, and we are done. And we're back. I don't know about you, this is my favorite part of the show. Just to recap, we got a Greek pasta salad with feta, cheese, broccoli, tomatoes, and carrots, a little bit of onion. Over here, we have the roasted broccoli with the onions, carrots, sesame seeds. Remember what I told you, eat your colors, eat the rainbow, you know you're eating balanced and healthy. And then the piece de resistance is the steelhead trout, looks like salmon. Season that with a Turkish blend, a few other little secrets in there. So let's see how we did. Of course, we're gonna start with the trout. You ought to be mad you ain't here. Guess I'll be healthy. And I'll go with the onion and the carrots. Like I said, a little sweetness, a little crunch. And then we'll end with the pasta. Twirl that around. Remember you have the olive oil in there as well. Get a piece of the feta. That is balanced and good eating. Stay tuned for One for the Road. Now that we've dined and you're getting ready to dash, let's have one for the road. I'm a hardcore tequila guy. Today we're gonna deviate a little bit and have tequila's big cousin, a mezcal. This one is called Mala Idea. And I went to a tasting, fell in love with it. I told the guy, I love the boxes, I need a case. He said, I'll get you a case if you buy a case. So I bought a case. He customized it for me with my Florida A&M University School logo. brought the box back for me from Mexico. Had this guy do that work for me. So obviously this is one of my favorites. They have 6 different expressions. Today we're having the ep1. It's clear, light, fruity aromas. You can see the pretty color. If you drink a quality drink, you can drink it neat, and that's what we're going to do today. That is so smooth. Makes a good mixed drink too, if that's more your speed. So I'll just leave you with: eat good, drink better, but always live your best. Ben Johnson, the Black Chef, Dine and Dash. Thanks for hanging out with me.